Hi, my name is Steve Coates and welcome to another episode of Building Skill Models. What I'm working on today is fixing these ejector pin marks. Now, sorry for the focus here, but I kind of colored in the ejector pin marks, kind of make it easier to look on this white piece. But you can see here, there's these round circles that are embedded into the piece here. And this is another part of the framework for the eagle I'm working on. Now, what I use this gap filling super glue. It's kind of thick and it kind of sets in. It takes longer to dry. And then what I also use here is this is a glass ashtray. I use this to put my super glue on, and of course a pen to help apply it. So what I do here, I squirt out some super glue here on this ashtray. Put everything back up. Use the push pin, grab some of the glue, and then I put a little dabs right over on the ejector pin marks. Again, sorry for the focus, but hopefully it'll fix here real soon. So I keep doing this, and then put little dabs of super glue on all these ejector pin marks. Now, you can use an accelerant to help this dry faster, but I don't do it when I'm doing the gap filling, because accelerant makes the super glue really hard and it makes it harder to sand. So for a gap filling super glue, I just let it dry naturally. In this case, I'm just going to put dabs on this one, and I'll stop the video from here, but I'm going to finish up the rest of it and let it dry, and continue on to the next segment of how to fix ejector pin marks. And here's another tool you can use. This is a punch set. I use these to punch out different size plastic discs to fill into ejector pin holes that are mainly good for flat surfaces on the ejector pin marks. And with the metal rods fitting into these holes here, you can punch out different sizes of plastic discs. The way it works, you just slide a plastic stock in between here, slide it in, and then you close it up and put it on the size hole that you want. Grab the rod, put it in there, and then put the whole punch set on a solid surface. Use the hammer to punch out the disc. And then here's a sample of what it looks like. A perfectly round plastic disc for use in your fixing of the ejector pin marks. Here are a couple pictures of a previous project I worked on. There were some ejector pin marks that were exposed or can be seen, and I wanted to hide them, and since they were flat surfaces, I used the punch discs here that I created, glued them in, and then filled in with some filler. So with the plastic here, I didn't have to use that much filler. Sanded it, and now you can see the results, nice and smooth. There's a couple of pin marks that were not done because they were going to be hidden anyway, but as you see, it looks pretty good. Okay, now that the super glue is dry, take the matching marker again like we do with the seams and color around the glue. I make sure that you paint beyond the edge of where the glue is. Here I'm doing one here, and then I finish up the last one. But once again, make sure you color the entire area and beyond the edge of where the glue is. So now we put up the pin. As you can see, all of them are painted with the black marker. So now we get our sanding stick and we start sanding. We wet it, and just like what we're doing on the seams, since this is a round piece, we're sanding at angles. Now this sanding stick is a little bit rougher grit because of I want to start getting a good sanding off of this glue. And as you see, as you're sanding, the edge of the black marker is slowly going away, and that shows that you're removing the super glue and you're meeting up with the plastic. And see, and as you keep going, you're smoothing out and removing the super glue that was covering the ejector pin mark, and you slowly get it smooth, and you slowly remove the black marker area. And once you see the edge and it's all gone here, move over to where there's still some black marker area and keep sanding. Keep checking your work. And as you're checking your work and removing the residue, you can feel that you're smoothing out the where you sand, and you can feel that the injector mark is no longer there. Switch to a finer grit. Again, sanding at angles. Don't want to get a flat spot. One little bit left. There, looking pretty good. As you can see, the super glue has filled in the ejector mark. We've sanded off the excess, smoothed it out, and we're starting to look pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is stop the video here and finish up the rest of the sanding here. Okay, now I've finished up all the sanding. Take a look at here. Looking pretty good. Well, it looks like you still see the marks there, but what it is, though, those injection marks are still covered with super glue. So now what I do, I take some rubbing alcohol and then a makeup sponge and get some alcohol on the sponge, and we're going to clean the part. Clean this part with alcohol does two things. One, cleans the part really good, gets some grease and whatever you're handling, and then also it removes the excess masher marker that you still had left on the part. Be sure you get inside and both sides, and get side in the corners. You can see in there the black marker residue is being removed and left on the sponge. Get the paper towel and dry it. Let's take a look. Look really good. So now what we're going to do, we're going to paint it to see and check our work. So I usually use gray paint to check, and if there's any more work to be done, the gray paint will show it. So let's take and go back and paint this. Okay, here we are. Finished painting the part. I use neutral gray. As you can see, part looks really good. Can't really see any marks left over or any corrections to be made. Here I get the same part that I haven't touched or fixed, and you can see the comparison of the seams that are on the part, and you can see the injector pin marks, and just do a comparison and see how good the part looks now compared to when we started with all these seams and injection marks. Tedious, but the effort will pay off. So I hope you learned a lot here, and good luck on your projects, and see you next time. Thanks. Bye.